I'm speaking with Anny Slegten, founder of the famous Hypnotism Training Institute of Alberta, Canada. Dear Anny, I'd like to show this interview to Hungarian silver graduates. Technically, the silver method is very similar to self-hypnosis. I'm sure you use self-hypnosis to keep yourself so fresh and energetic. What practical advice can you give us based on your huge knowledge and experience in self-hypnosis?
All right, for self-hypnosis, the most important thing is to, when you make a recording, for example, for yourself, it is important that you start the recording and as you go into a trance, or you start your suggestions to yourself with something that makes you smile. So you feel really good about it. For example, myself coming from Africa, from Congo, of course it is going swimming. So I start my recording by saying, I am in front of a body of water. And just thinking of that, I'm smiling, I'm smiling. And then I go into the water. Because I am from Africa, the water is warm, and so forth. And it feels good. And I'm starting to float on my back. I do what is called the board. And then once in a while, I'm moving my hands to stay afloat. And I'm going like that. And just being like that, I'm smiling. Just thinking of what you can tell, it feels good. So when we do self-hypnosis, or when we are writing suggestions for ourselves, start with something that makes you really smile. Really, it makes such a difference also. Yeah. I think that is one of the most important things. Also, always mention what you want and avoid mentioning what you don't want, because you get it too. So just what you want. The most important thing is that just something that makes you smile as you go into a trance. Yeah.
So you find founding a positive emotional base.
Yeah, so you go into the space, or I don't know how you call it, in the silver mind control or in hypnosis. You go in there with a smile. It makes such a difference. Yeah.
Great advice.
And I fall asleep listening to a recording of mine about year-round, about 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like now I'm here in Budapest, I got my recording with me and my CD player. Yeah.
Do you find it useful to listen to some positive, useful recording during sleeping, or only while you are going to sleeping state?
No, I find that as I go, I am falling asleep, I listen to it because I know my mind is going to work on it all the time. For example, I'm asking to increase my intuition and things like that. I do all kinds of things like that are very beneficial.
And you do those recordings for yourself?
Yes, I do those recordings for yourself.
And do you recommend us silver graduates to do recordings for ourselves as well? Only if they know how to write it down, because they can get into quite a fix if they don't know how to write things down. So you have to really be careful of that. And as a matter of fact, myself, because I'm so used to it, within 3 days, I know if it is good or if it is, I better change it. 3 days. And then I say, So I can... You go by the results. Oh, yes. You can tell right away. Sometimes it takes a month, it depends what it is. And do you want an example? Yes, I would appreciate it. Well, I'm used to having a lot of money in the bank. I like that, that's the way it goes. And my husband decided to retire, so we bought a property in British Columbia. So all of a sudden, because I have my house, I have my office, all of a sudden, and then another property, a big property in British Columbia, I have 3 insurance, 3 electricity bills, 3 of everything. I thought,
So, guess what? I just thought, well, I know how to write things. I'm going to say from now on, all my bills are paid in full. Sounds good, huh? Right. That's what I thought. So, about a month later, I realized that the more money I was making, the more bills I was getting. So I thought, what's happened? So that is something that I do. I take a deep trance as I fall asleep, and I ask my subconscious mind that I call Subby, Subby, what am I doing to create that? And as I woke up, the information came. The focus is on bills. So I changed that right away, and it changed like that.
Do you remember what did you change it for?
I did not.
Do you remember how did you change the sentence?
I said from now on, all the money that I make is for enjoyment and accumulation. So because you have to pay electricity and everything, and insurance and everything. So for enjoyment, so I can spend it, and accumulation, so there is money left to leave in the bank.
So you put the focus on the money left instead of the bills.
Yes. To have a lot of money for everything that I want to do, including money in the bank. But I can tell you that was quite a shock. I thought, what? What's the matter? And then I have quite a conversation with myself. I said, so because the information came, focus on look at your focus. Well, I was mad. I said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean, my focus? I know what I'm writing. I'm teaching that. And then there was ha, ha, ha. I said, no. I want to know. He said, your focus, look at your focus. I said, what about my focus? My focus is the bills, the invoices. So, of course, the more money I was making, the more invoices I was getting. Oh, well, the furnace and the new place broke down. We had to buy a new furnace, and then the hot water heater broke down, the electric water heater. We had to replace that, and it was one thing after the other. I said, oh, in 1 month. So it took me 1 month to know what's happening, because it takes 1 month to get all the bills. So
it's a great example. I like your inner conversation with your subconscious mind. You give a name to your subconscious mind, Subby?
I call it Subby, and my husband calls his subconscious mind, he calls it George. So you call it the way you want to, but I call it Subby. Yeah.
Do you find it useful to give a name to your subconscious mind?
Yes, it is, because really your subconscious mind is part of you, so it gives you a more focus on who you what part of you are asking, what part of you have a conversation with.
In the Silva method, we call the counselors personifying the subconscious mind. It's a similar.
It is, it is all the same. It depends how you. It depends how you call it, but it is all the same.
You're teaching the so-called surrogate or remote hypnotherapy that you've developed to get information from a distant person and then to help him or her. We do something very similar in the Silva method that we call case working. What practical advice can you give us to make it more and more effective?
Listen to your intuition. Trust the information that is coming to you. No question asked. You don't edit, you don't do anything. Whatever is coming to your awareness, trust it. It is not yours, it is whoever you are contacting. And that is the most important thing. You have to trust what comes to you instead of thinking, well, is that right? No, they shouldn't think that way and things like that. No. You have to really trust what comes.
Anny, you know a lot about using energy for healing. How do you fill up yourself with energy, and what do you do? What do you recommend us to be energetic?
I always find very interesting how people see me, because I don't know that I'm putting a lot of energy.
You look very energetic.
I have no idea, I don't know. Although everybody tells me that. I think that one of the things is listening to a self-hypnosis recording, a very good one, you know, as you fall asleep, so it energizes you. Well, it depends what's on it, of course. And also look at life the way it is, no judgment. You know, that's the way it is, okay, that's fine. And I, you know, just like if somebody, because it happens also almost in every group of people that are training, there is somebody all of a sudden that has a temper tantrum like a little kid. Well, you know, other people say, oh, is she going to be good? And so forth. No, I just look, I say, she's fine. She's just she's acting like a 6-year-old or 7-year-old, depending, you know. One at my office there that just finished, it was like a 3-year-old. My, just, what is it? Okay, so she was all embarrassed the next day. No, I'm okay with it. It was funny as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, and there's no, you learn to have no judgment. You have a look and you observe. Just be at peace. And also understand that everybody has to learn something, allow them to learn it. And only help when they ask for help. And that's not easy to do because, you know, you can see and say, oh, you know, I wish you could be in my chair. You just wait. When you get in my chair, you're going to know what you are doing. No, they don't ask, don't do it. No. So
that's awesome.
Allowing people to be, really.
Yeah.
Allow people to be. Yeah.
I want you to know that it's a special feeling, special joy in me to have the chance to talk with you. So Anny, thanks a lot for this conversation.
Okay.
Thank you.
And all the best to all the people who are taking the Silver Mind Control. All the very best. It is a very good program.
Thank you.
Because I learned it too, you see.